Straight ahead on 12 News, our interview with the new Robbinsdale police chief. After the former chief's arrest, what Jim Franzen says is the most important thing Robbinsdale police can do. Plus, golfers feeling the pain.
Mother Nature and the golf gods are at war.
But first, with excitement comes concerns over a proposed grocery store in New Hope. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Alexandra Renslow. Hy-Vee Supermarket would be the first grocery store in the city in years.
And while city planners are excited, union organizers have some questions. Here's Sonia Goins.
For a better part of 15 years now, people have been looking for a solution to the lack of grocery stores in New Hope.
If all goes as planned, this vacant lot off Xylon Avenue in New Hope would be home to a new Hy-Vee superstore.
It is truly a new concept for them, and it's a larger size store than they've done before.
The 90,000 square foot Hy-Vee supermarket would include a pharmacy, bakery, deli, full restaurant, and a gas station.
There would be an awful lot of jobs because they break their stores down into various sections, including a full service restaurant, drugstore, liquor store.
I am a helpful smile.
Now, the Hy-Vee slogan is a helpful smile in every aisle, but not everyone is happy about the possibility of the store moving into New Hope.
And a helpful smile.
My concern is that Hy-Vee is out of Iowa. Every dollar spent in those markets ends up out of our local economy. At the same time, they're competitors against the unionized grocery stores that we represent.
Matt Utek is the president of the local United Food and Commercial Workers Union.
We have about 100 family people that live in the New Hope area that we represent, Local 653 represents.
He says the Hy-Vee superstore could hurt the bottom line for other businesses.
Liquor store owners, restaurant owners, that may all be negatively impacted by Hy-Vee also, that are locally owned and operated businesses that will lose money as a result of Hy-Vee coming in with a supercenter store.
The union also wants to know what kind of pay and benefits package Hy-Vee will offer.
If Hy-Vee comes in and they have substandard wages and benefits, it's difficult for us, or makes it more difficult for us to bargain with our employers and for our employers to continue to offer good wages and benefits.
In New Hope, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
And we did reach out to Hy-Vee officials, but they didn't return our calls. But on Thursday night, you can learn more about the Hy-Vee proposal at an open house scheduled from 4:30 to 8 p.m. at New Hope City Hall.
Robbinsdale's new police chief says the department dealt with rough waters, but it is ready to sail ahead. Jim Franzen will now take over after the city's former chief, Steve Smith, was arrested in a prostitution sting. Today, Channel 12 reporter Delane Cleveland sat down with Chief Franzen to learn more about his goals for the department.
The fact that he lives here in Robbinsdale is a big part of what I like.
Tuesday night at the Robbinsdale City Council meeting,
absolutely very pleased that we can name him the chief tonight.
The admiration for Jim Franzen was across the board.
I couldn't be more proud of what you do and the comments we get from residents. And I think that's a reflection not only on each of you and the department, but also the leader.
Ultimately, the vote to promote Franzen from captain to police chief was a mere formality.
That motion is approved. Congratulations.
It certainly is an honor and a privilege to be standing here before you today and to be considered as and now appointed as the next police chief for the city of Robbinsdale.
Today,
it's the highest position and a lot of responsibilities.
In his first official day as the man in charge of the police department, he sat down with us to talk about his new role.
We've got a good thing going here, and I want to maintain that.
Franzen began his law enforcement career with Robbinsdale as a police reserve in 1979. In 1988, he went to work for the Eden Prairie Police Department, then came back to Robbinsdale in 2008.
I think anytime that you have an opportunity to learn from another agency or to take training somewhere else, it gets you out of that fishbowl, it gets you out of that tunnel vision, and it helps you to think outside the box a little bit.
With Eden Prairie, he learned the importance of developing a police partnership with the community, and he brought that philosophy back to Robbinsdale.
So I want to continue to make sure we're staying in that direction of building partnerships. I think we can always get better, get more people involved, and so that'll be my main goal as chief.
In Robbinsdale, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
The next big task for Chief Franzen will be to hire a new police captain to fill his old position.
And we could soon learn who will be the new police chief in Maple Grove. 12 News has learned that the city is down to 6 finalists. City Council will interview those candidates on Saturday. All are chiefs or captains from Twin Cities metro area police departments. The new hire will replace David Jess, who is retiring in May.
It was supposed to be opening day at Centerbrook Golf Course, but Mother Nature clearly had other plans. 16 anxious golfers were forced to cancel their tee times at the Brooklyn Center course due to the snow and cold. Steve Mikowski says the Masters tournament is the unofficial start of the golfing season, and this weather delay is putting a damper on their excitement.
There's this pent-up frustration of not being able to golf since last November, so they're chomping at the bit, and I'm doing everything I can to accommodate them, but Mother Nature won't answer my emails. So.
Centerbrook now hopes Saturday will be the lucky day to open. Mikowski says the course needs about 3 to 4 days to thaw after a snowfall like we got today.
A dozen lucky teachers and staff in the Robbinsdale School District got a surprise visit.
You were our #1 grant this year, and you are our 100th grant ever awarded for the Seven Dreams Foundation. So congratulations.
A total of $25,000 in grants was given to hands-on learning programs in the Robbinsdale district by the Seven Dreams Education Foundation. Teacher Matt Pletcher got a $3,000 grant for a program that introduces foreign-born students to Minnesota landmarks such as the Capitol.
So Essential Minnesota is taking the essence of what it is like to be a citizen in this country, and specifically in Minnesota, exploring the different cultural landmarks around town, learning the history of that, and then diving into it academically.
The Seven Dreams Foundation has raised more than $200,000 for grants in the Robbinsdale district since 2003. Neat surprise,
yes.
Huh? Coming up, something you can do now that will pay big dividends later on for your children.
And later in sports, Benilde-St. Margaret scores a big win in its boys lacrosse season opener.
But first, forget about the snow today. Let's focus on some good news. Next week's forecast points to highs in the 60s. It's news a financial advisor can feel good about.
A new survey says more than 2/3 of Americans who got a tax refund this year plan to save it. Since the Great Recession, a growing number of Americans are saving their refund money. In today's Money Savers, we ask, what else should you do with that refund?
My most successful clients are the ones that always paid themselves first. They saved for the future. They got on the right side of compound interest. They stopped paying interest on debt, and they put away money that could grow, and that compound interest could work in their favor. So the sooner you save, the more you're going to have in the future.
Skip Johnson says first use your refund money to get out of debt. Then you should save for an emergency fund of 4 to 6 months worth of expenses. Add to your retirement fund or perhaps a college fund for your family. And another idea, consider starting an account for gift giving so when Christmas rolls around, your generosity doesn't take a bite out of your budget. A group of Plymouth financial advisors wants saving money to come naturally to students.
Members of the Wealth Enhancement Group recently visited area schools for Teach Your Children to Save Day. And reporter Shannon Slatton explains what they'd like parents to know about saving.
Anybody have an idea? What do you like to do with your money?
The younger students start saving.
Because they're young, they haven't had the chance to make too many mistakes yet, and they haven't had the chance to start earning money.
The better off their finances will be.
Clothes, that kind of shopping? Yep.
The younger you start saving, the more you're going to be ready for college, you're going to be ready for after college, and you're going to have those habits early in life to save your money and to spend it wisely.
One of the things that is really important to kind of slow down.
Students in this personal finance class at Wayzata High School may be ahead of the savings curve.
I have money saved up kind of for like a rainy day, or if maybe for when I go away to college. You know, I won't be as dependent on my parents as maybe my friends will be.
I guess I just prioritize not spending too much rather than spending however much money I have in my wallet. I usually keep track of what I'm spending and what I'm saving.
So this one says my best choice according to my criteria.
The message of saving money and saving it early is one that the Wealth Enhancement Group and financial literacy nonprofit Best Prep are talking about with students.
We just want them to hear the lessons of money management, and you can always save more, think about what you're spending your money on, and how can you really better position yourself to be financially independent.
Anybody saving money?
But the biggest lesson here
My parents talk to me about my money a lot. They're really big on saving.
might be that the best teachers for money management
My dad kind of taught me the most about money.
are the ones at home.
Nothing comes better than what they learn from their parents.
In Plymouth, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
And there are free financial literacy seminars available in our area. We've posted a link to some of those on our website. Go to 12.tv. There's something sizzling in Brooklyn Park. Later in the show, we'll take you to the longest-running annual event in Brooklyn Park, the world's largest Smelt fry.
But first in sports, local high school seniors make their college athletics choices official. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
Well, a couple of the better boys lacrosse teams going head-to-head, and they don't disappoint. It's a good game.
No, they don't. It was a great match, great way to start the season for Benilde-St. Margaret's. Benilde-St. Margaret's and Eden Prairie are two of the better boys lacrosse programs in the state. The Red Knights won the state title as recently as 2011, while the Eagles are the defending state champions. Those two schools met Tuesday in an early season matchup at Benilde. First quarter, Benilde's Gibson Riney passes to Michael Naughton, who beats the Eagles goalie short side for a goal. It's 2-1 Red Knights after a quarter. But down 3-1 in the second quarter, Eden Prairie rallies with 3 straight goals, including this one from Charlie Venable, to give the Eagles a 4-3 halftime lead. Third quarter, Benilde's Michael Lamb fights off 3 defenders before passing to Thomas Ludke for the shot and goal. And the Red Knights are back in front 5-4. Just 19 seconds later, Lamb comes from behind the Eden Prairie net and sneaks a shot in. Benilde is on top 6-4. But Eden Prairie comes back. Just over 3 minutes left in the game. Nick Lieberman passes to Nick Perkins. Nice goal by the Eagles, and the game is tied at 7. Benilde, though, gets one more. Lamb sets up Griffin Aylen in front for the game-winning goal. Big win for the Red Knights. They knock off Eden Prairie 8-7. While some local high school softball teams got games in last week, a handful are just starting play this week. Osseo won its first game Monday, and then Tuesday evening they hosted Cooper on a chilly evening. After a leadoff triple by Courtney Calkins in the second inning, courtesy runner Andrea Deanslake scores on a wild pitch, and it's 1-0 Orioles. In the bottom of the fourth, Lane Ruski hits a grounder to short. Tamara Hicks' throw home is just a touch too late. Maddie Rice-Johnson scores, and it's 2-0 Osseo. Cooper gets on the board in the fifth inning. Pincher Emily Sullivan lines a single down the right field line. Judy Bruner scores from second base, and it's 2-1. Well, if that's as close as the Hawks would get, Calkins strikes out 11 for Osseo, including 3 in the seventh inning. Osseo beats Cooper in the Hawks season opener 3-1. In Northwest Suburban Conference baseball, Champlin Park scored a big early season win at Maple Grove. The Rebels blanked the Crimson 8-0. Brandon Rushmeyer throws a complete game shutout, scattering 6 hits. Trevor Kaminsky drove in 2 runs for the 2-0 Rebels. The early signing day for high school seniors headed off to scholarship programs in college basketball and several other sports is in early November. The so-called regular signing period for those sports is today. A handful of athletes signed around the area, including 3 at Osseo High School, boys lacrosse player Isaac Lassard, girls lacrosse player Maddie Malone, and baseball player Jonathan Ludwig Rudolph, who is headed to Mankato State. Just one signee at Maple Grove, Crimson tennis player Zach Atkins, committed to play collegiate at Augustana College in Sioux Falls. And at Cooper High School, 5 players announced their college choices. Hawks quarterback Luke Lindquist will go to Wisconsin-Eau Claire. Torrey Green and Manita Kelly signed at community colleges for basketball, while Conde Jala will play hoops at NAIA school William Penn. Cooper's leading scorer, Lori Bowler, will play for Division II Southwest Minnesota State. Here's what a handful of the local signees had to say today about their colleges.
I wanted to go out of state, and I've always wanted to, ever since I was a young girl. So this is a good chance for me to like get out and see what else is like out there.
Augustana is it's like a good balance for me between all my interests. They have a good music program, so I'm interested in that.
I definitely wanted to stay in Minnesota, and I wanted to go the D2 route, so I kind of narrowed down my options, and Southwest just ended up on the top of that list.
Congratulations to all of them. Sometimes it takes just a little longer to decide, and then they're all certainly happy, like those ones were back in November when they signed.
Absolutely exciting time for them.
Right.
Thanks, John. Still ahead, something fishy going on in Brooklyn Park.
Yeah, coming up next, I'll tell you why these guys are working so hard to make this a Smelt experience you will never forget.
Creamy tartar or the zesty cocktail sauce? That is the big question in Brooklyn Park tonight.
Yep, Smelt lovers will get their fill at the 52nd annual Smelt Fry. And Cassie Bonstrom is at the Brooklyn Park Community Activity Center with more on the big event. Cassie?
Yeah, hey Mike. In the next 3 nights, they're hoping to have more than 2,000 people here, and they'll serve up more than 2,200 pounds of smelt. And I am joined now by Dave, who's the organizer of the 52nd annual Smelt Fry. And first of all, tell me a little bit about this fish.
Well, okay, this is a Minnesota and actually a Great Lakes traditional fish, which really hasn't been in Minnesota for the last 20 years, but in the 50s and 60s, these fish would come up about this time of year by the thousands, and they would be netted out of every creek and river that came into Lake Superior. Duluth was famous for these. Many, many families in Minnesota would have hundreds of smelt this time of year.
So you're really trying to carry on this tradition that hasn't been around. You don't often hear about a smelt fry.
Exactly. We started this smelt fry 52 years ago when everybody was eating smelt. And our members actually would go up to Duluth and get the fish, bring it down here, clean it, and serve it. It was at a much smaller scale during that time. Since then, it's really transformed. As you've said, we serve about 2,000 people, and it's just gotten so big. We now use commercial commercial fryers. We have commercial fishermen get the fish for us. It comes to us all cleaned, but it's the same Minnesota, Lake Superior, Great Lakes smelt that it always has been. We feel this is only one of the only places in the Twin Cities you can get it, and it's a great spring tradition.
And we've watched it gone from it was dried, it was washed, dried, breaded, and put into the fryer here. So our first batch is almost ready. It will be ready by 5 o'clock when the doors open, right? 5 to 8 o'clock tonight, Thursday night, and Friday night. Tickets are $11 at the door for adults and $5 for children 12 and under. And again, 5 to 8 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If you'd like to come out and have this traditional meal, they'd love to have you here.
All right. Thank you very much, Cassie. Big fundraiser for the Lions Club, too, and they do so many good things around the community.
Learned a little history.
Yeah, fish with a history. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.